I'm so pleased to be back, and I think I just need to start with that. I am really, really, genuinely so pleased to be back. And before I go into or talk around weight loss, transformations, and all of that that we normally talk about on Slimming Stories, I feel that I kind of need to explain what's been happening since I last started recording. So I believe that I've done around 4 podcast episodes between November 2011 and when I've posted this again. So this will be what, 13, 14 months in between when I last posted consistently to date. So I wanted to kind of explain this. And the reason I wanted to explain it is we're in January. It's January the 17th today. And this is my son's 16th birthday. The moment is at school. He's at school doing his stuff. But it is his 16th birthday today. And I kind of wanted to mark this date with something special. And I thought that recording a podcast episode would be my way, my stamp of saying, you know what, Claire, look what you did. You raised a child for 16 years. Well done. Well done. Not only did you, raise a child for 16 years, you've had lots of challenges. And everybody has those, don't they? It doesn't matter what we do, what walk of life we're in. Everyone has those things, don't we? That things can be challenging, things can be difficult. And January is that time that maybe we take a step back. We've had time off over Christmas and we set these great intentions or New Year's resolutions. And the reason that I want to talk about what's been happening since I last recorded on the podcast consistently is because I wanted you to see as well that yes, we can have reasons, we can have excuses why we don't always show up for ourselves, why we don't see the things that we really want to commit to, why we don't always see those things out. And I've just written this down. I've even got notes for this podcast episode really well, really, really well. And I wrote down this quote. I'm not sure who this quote belongs to. I couldn't see anything that was quoted when I looked at this. And it's a really common quote. I'm sure you've heard this before. The base, it says, be stronger than your strongest excuse. And I thought this would be a really great time to talk about this, especially in January, because are you one of those people that have set New Year's resolutions, these intentions? And if you're listening to this today thinking, yeah, I've set something and already you're feeling a bit like, oh, where's this going? You might be already thinking, well, I feel a bit of resistance with my intention, and we're still in January. And I think that by me showing up and being really, really honest with you is a way to show you that even when things can get tricky, can get busy, especially when we're on a weight loss journey, a health journey, that doesn't mean to say that we've failed. I've recently been on social media. I've not been consistently on like Instagram, and I do apologize if you follow me on Instagram. Again, I've literally just pulled back from a lot of things. And when I've gone onto social media, when I've gone onto Instagram, I've seen even guests that I've interviewed on my podcast that have put an amount of weight on that they feel is unacceptable. And then in their contents explain that they feel like a bit of a failure, they don't know what to do, they're feeling frustrated, all those things. And the truth of the matter is, we're not a failure. Nothing is unfixable until we tell ourselves that it's stopped, until we pull back on everything and say, right, no more. Then as long as we can rest, as long as we think about our intentions, and as long as we keep moving forward, however messy, however stressed out these steps are, as long as we just keep on keeping on, we're okay. We are okay. Whereabouts is it written? And this is what I say to my clients. Whereabouts is it written down that a weight loss journey is going to be stress-free? Whereabouts is it written down? Whereabouts is it written that when you decide to embark on a new goal, a new venture, that journey is going to be straight? And as cheesy as it sounds, there's no journey that's straight, is there? You've all got those twists and turns in that road. So the reason I'm explaining this is I feel that I was given that excuse of time, and I was given that excuse of being busy, and I was given that excuse of my business, my clients. I need to show up, And don't get me wrong, for anybody that's listening to this or watching this on YouTube, because you want to see myself in this video, you'll be able to check me out on YouTube. Setting up a business, my goodness, has been one of the most challenging things I've done, but I've absolutely loved it. I have absolutely loved it. I love what I do, and that's the thing. Every day excites me because I love doing what I do. And I know you might be thinking, oh my God, that you'd love to be there in that place, but it's true. I love what I do, but it's busy and it's hectic. And then I've been doing the podcast and thinking, how do I start back? And it's not that, I thought, oh, it's my son's birthday, let's mark this occasion and start back doing the podcast. I must have had a gajillion times in the last, I don't know, whatever it is, 13, 14 months, I've thought about, let's start doing the podcast again. Let's pick that back up. And I did start interviewing guests, and I've still got those recordings sat ready to edit. I've just not had the time to edit, but they will be done. So if you're listening to this from a listener point of view, and I've already interviewed you, and you're thinking, when is my episode coming out? It will come out, and I will be reaching out to new guests as well. Don't worry. I just thought I need to kind of give a bit of an explanation as to where I've been and what's been happening. So the things that I told myself why I didn't have the time to show up are simply because when I first started doing the podcast, I was doing an interview for maybe 45 minutes. And by the time I'd edited that, might add a bit on, might take a bit off. It's usually probably my episodes about between 40 minutes and an hour. And then sometimes they were longer with guests. I was split it into two, and that interview would be over 2 months. So for me to continue doing this and doing what I'm doing, this is how it's going to work. And for anybody that has been listening to me right from the beginning of the podcast, when it was originally called Mojo Share, you'll know that I just get things done. It's just in my nature. I get things done. It's not about doing these things perfectly. It's just about showing up and getting it done. And knowing that, and now I explain all this to people, why is it then I feel that I've got to do this in a certain way? And probably because it's what I've done in the past. And my mind was thinking, you know what, you've always done it this way, you need to do it this way, you need to do it this way, but there are going to be changes. So how this is going to work is for me to show up every week to do the podcast. I will be recording episodes that may not be 40 minutes, an hour long. They might be just really short episodes, like a mini-sode, and that could be to go into details about maybe like part running if you've never tried running. It might be to do with nutrition, whatever that thing is. I will be showing up each week. That's my commitment to you, because I know that even I can show up for 10 minutes a week. I honestly can do that. It's something that I can do, and I'm going to commit to it. But I also wanted to reach out to you and say that if you're feeling that resistance to your New Year's resolutions, if you're kind of thinking, God, I wish I'd not have said this, because every time that we set an intention, whether it's a podcast, whether it's losing weight, whether it's going out for a run, going to whatever that thing is, when we set that intention and we write it down, or we tell ourselves this is what we're going to do, and then we tell our friends and family or partners, colleagues, and then we don't, there's that, oh, I've said I'm going to do it and now I'm not doing it. It can leave you feeling, like really lackluster. Your energy can feel low because you're committed to doing something, and then you've stopped. And that's it. As long as we don't stop, then we've not failed, as long as we don't stop. So in terms of stopping, my vehicle has been used by my husband to get to work. His transport stopped working, so he's just fixed that. I'm going to step back in to Slimming World. So that will be happening on Thursday, and I'm explaining this because this will also be going out to my YouTube channel, and I normally explain the weight that I'm at. So Christmas came, Christmas has gone, and I've had a really good time in terms of just enjoying that food, like most people do around Christmas. For anybody that's followed me for the longest time, I'm still not eating any chocolate, no cakes, no sweets. That has gone right from November of 21. So I've had my second Christmas without any chocolate, sweets, cakes, or anything like that, anything that's high sugar. And because of that, because my draw was always to that food, I've not had like big binges around chocolate that I would do probably around Christmas time, all of that. So I think that's really helping me to keep the weight off. So it seems to be that when I do lose the weight, I'm not putting lots of weight on. So if you listen to this on the podcast, you won't know that I've been on all inclusive this year. I went to Spain as well, and on each of those holidays I've not had like a big gain. I can remember back in the day when I went on an all inclusive, when I was eating sugar foods, I think I had like an 8 pound gain in a week. But that didn't happen this time, and it's not happening. So I've got my scales today. So on my scales, let me just write this down as a mental note. So on my scale today, I'm 13.11 and a quarter. The last time I got weighed, which was the 1st of December at Slimming World, I was 13.12 and a half. So obviously scales can differ, can't they? So I think that next time when I record a new podcast episode, you will be hearing that I'm lower than when I originally I'm lower than when I went back in December to get weighed. I think December, that was my last weigh day, and then I stopped going because I just the transport broke. I got really busy too. So the reason I'm giving this number is not to bring shame about weight or that actual number. It's just a measure. That's literally it. I've lost weight last year, and it's just a measure of where I'm at and where I want to be as well. I wish we could just get weighed every 3 weeks at Slimming World, but that's not the case. It's every week. I'd rather we didn't do that, but that's how it is. I do like the plan. So I will be back there on Thursday morning, and then I'll let you know on my next podcast episode how that's gone. You've probably already guessed as well, listen to this podcast episode, that this is without any edits, and that's another reason why it's so much easier for me to just show up without a guest, because I'm not worrying about how they're sounding. And I know some of my guests are worried about how it's going to sound. I'm not stripping out all of the ums and ahs and all the rest of it. So this is just me touching base with you, having a nice chat, and just to say hi. I've not disappeared off the face of the earth. I'm coming back on social media. This will be happening, and just to say that we don't have to give up. We don't have to give up. We just have to keep on keeping on. That's literally it. And I'm also going to be doing a 10K in May. Why am I even laughing? Is that a nervous laugh? So a 10K, if anybody's interested, this one, if anybody's like local to me, this one is in Matlock. Let me just see if I can find it. I'm sure you all want to do a 10K. So I'm just going to show it to camera so those on YouTube can see this. So it's called Festival of Running Down in a Shot 10K, and it's on Saturday the 20th of May at 11 a.m. So if you like the idea of running down in a shot in a 10K, then I will be there. I won't look like this. My face will be bright red, and I'll be running the best of my ability. I'm sure it will be absolutely fine. I'm sure it will be. But I've just got back into running, and that's another thing I wanted to talk about, in that we just need to keep moving more. It's not about necessarily going to park run or going to the gym. It's just about moving more. If we're able to do that, it just makes us feel so much better. And then my friends that I run with, it makes them feel better too. And that's where I'm at, and don't for one moment think that I'm this super fast runner, because I'm absolutely not. I've got down to 45 minutes for a park run. Before Christmas, I was just over just under the hour. So I've definitely started to reduce that. And back in 2017, I'd got down to 35:08, literally exactly 10 minutes difference to when I last did my 10K. So it's not till May. So I'm working towards that. It's on the agenda. And also the next thing that I want to mention before I end this podcast is mental health. For anybody that's not listened to my journey of what's happened, maybe this is the first episode that you've listened to. I'm now a qualified hypnotherapist. I work with clients to deal with the most horrendous mental health issues, the most horrendous life events, all sorts of things, just as like phobias, like bee stings, people that are scared of spiders, quitting smoking, all of those things. But I will be touching on mental health, simply because weight loss is 99% mindset. And knowing this, and we all know this, we need to put that energy into that. And if we don't put that energy into it, we're not going to be able to keep this weight off. if we're carrying these emotions. So we'll be touching base on that. I might even do like a wellness. I may even do a Wellness Wednesday, just to give you a bit of an insight into how this can help you and how it's helped me too. And this has been something that, you know, I'm really, really passionate about. And then the bigger picture, there's something that's really big going on in the background of all of this. But it's one of those things where I just think if I explain it, or if I verbalize it, then I'm going to put more pressure on myself. So I'm not going to do that. But there is something that I will be announcing in a couple of months, and really, really looking forward to that too. And it's just going to help bring things together in terms of social media, the podcast, and all of those things that go with it, which can be time consuming, but I love doing it too. So I'm back. The next one could be a mini-sode, it could be a full-on episode, it could be an interview with guests. However that is, I'm not going to apologize with how this is anymore. I just wanted to show up, and I feel that especially for those people that have always listened to the episodes, those people that follow me, those people that stayed in touch, I felt like I deserved at least to give an explanation. And this is it's simply that I felt that I didn't have that time, and that's it. So if I can strip this back, and then still record an episode and then publish it, then that will help me to feel that I can do more. And maybe I will have guests on that, you know, don't mind me not editing so much, and they'll be happy to have an episode published without that editing on there. Who knows, but we'll have to see. But really wanted to touch base, and I want to know what you're at, where you're at in terms of your weight loss journey, in terms of feeling that momentum to move forward this year. Have you made that pledge that this year is going to be your year? You know, we've got COVID behind us, we've got all that mess, but I also know there's a heaviness, isn't there, at the moment with what's happening with the people's finances, with the uncertainty of lots of things. And I think knowing that, it's not to bring down the tone of this, but knowing that is such an important reason to show up for ourselves, because we need to be the strongest physically and mentally. Because if we can look after ourselves, if we can gift ourselves with that ability of giving our bodies the right nutrients, following the healthy eating plan, if we can go out for those walks and take that exercise and move more, then we're going to be in the best position to take on board any challenges. Because if we're feeling depleted now, then we need to take action. And without taking that action, nothing's going to change, you know, nothing will change. But I'm here for it. I'm here for you. Let me know how you've been. You can contact me on Instagram at slimmingstories_podcast. Yeah, just drop me a DM. I will put my email address on the links in the show notes, and also a link to my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel is Slimming Stories. I've also got another YouTube channel, which is Mental Health Hypnotherapy. I'll put both links on. You can reach out to me on both. Take a look, you know, and listen, and there might be things on there that might surprise you too. I think with the Slimming Stories, I stopped recording that around November, about the same time as this. But if you go back, you'll listen to the first episode on my YouTube, and that was me trying on a ring, my rings. I've got 3 rings. I've got my wedding ring, my eternity ring, and my engagement ring. And one of I think the motivating factors for me to lose the weight again was to be able to fit my rings on. And last week I tried my wedding ring on, and my wedding ring fit. I've not got it on yet because it did feel a bit snug, but I feel that another half stone off, and that will be me being able to wear my wedding ring. And I did actually buy a different wedding ring to wear because I felt guilty not wearing a wedding ring. But we've all got our reasons, haven't we, why we want to lose weight. Share, you know, what your reasons are. Also, if you're in my Facebook group of Slimming Stories, again, apologies, I will be showing up again. It's just that time got the better of me, but I'm not going to give that excuse anymore. You know, there are 24 hours in a day, and I'm sure I can make something out of that to be able to show up here, and that's what I'm doing. So let me know where you're showing up. Let me know what's motivating you this year ahead. And it's been really lovely just to get this recorded, especially on my son's birthday. and I won't embarrass him by saying too much. Otherwise, yeah, it might sue me in years to come, knowing Oliver. But have a wonderful rest of the day. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and take care. Thank you.